Hey, what's up everyone? The Dan Sandwich here, and I am back in NBA 2K23, and in this video, we're going to find out how successful a team full of players who can only play defense can be. And I'm not just talking about players like, Dennis Rodman or like Ben Wallace, guys who are, defensive specialists but don't have many offensive skills. I'm talking about guys who have zero offensive skills and can only play defense. So I went in here and I created Tyrone Knight. As you can see, he's just cloned him a bunch of times. And I made him as someone who can literally only play defense. Taking a look at his attributes here. Yeah, I mean, driving layup, standing dunk, shot, all of his shot attributes are all 25. I did make it so he could pass and handle the ball effectively because I didn't want him like turning the ball over a bunch. And I thought it'd be kind of funny if he could like dribble and pass really well, but not score at all. And then yeah, so he can pass, he can dribble. He is not consistent on offense, but he can only really play defense. Those are the only attributes he actually has in his favor. And I did max all of those out, so he is the best defensive player you could possibly be. But that's really it. And I did make him 7'7", 250 pounds. So like, just a absolute specimen of a player in that respect. I also went over to his tendencies and turned everything to 0. As that relates to being able to score on a basketball court. And I gave him, some playmaking and defensive badges. All of those are on Hall of Fame. So he's gonna be good with the basketball. He's not gonna turn it over a bunch of times. So really any like mistakes that are gonna happen, it's gonna be when he is trying to shoot or doing anything like that, which will not happen often because all of his tendencies are on 0. I also gave him all cold zones on the court, and like I said, I just cloned him a bunch of times and put him on a team. I just like spun a wheel to randomly decide what team he was going to be on, and it ended up as the Denver Nuggets. So if you see Nikola Jokic on a different team, it's because I put him in free agency. But yeah, we're gonna find out. This team, full of guys who can only play defense and do nothing else. How successful they can be. Will they win very many regular season games at all? Can they win a championship? I have no idea what's going to happen. Weird stuff happens when you do things like this. So let's just start simulating. I'm going to simulate through the first game and see. Okay, so yeah, they held Utah to 68 points, but they only scored 37. And the fact that they could score 37 points at all is pretty insane, especially as this guy made 2 3-point shots, which is nuts with the 25 3-point rating. He attempted 12 of them. So that's interesting. But yeah, I mean this is gonna be interesting. I think I don't know how many games they're actually gonna win. I mean, as you saw, like they're all rated really highly. 95, the lowest rated player is 90. So if you can only play defense, at least you're gonna have a pretty good overall rating. But yeah, let's simulate and see what ends up happening with this team. I'll do a couple seasons and see how well they can actually do. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a fun idea I had of what happens if you make a guy who can only play defense. Let's simulate through a couple of weeks of the season here. Can they win any basketball games? Yeah, it's looking bad. Like this might be a team that can go 0-82. But I don't know. Maybe they'll have a defensive player of the year. So yeah, let's simulate through the season and see what happens with Tyrone Knight and the Denver Nuggets. All right, so Luka wins MVP. Paolo Banchero Rookie of the Year. Jamal Murray went to the Philadelphia 76ers, and he's the 6th man of the year. That makes sense. And all right, cool. So Tyrone Knight was the defensive player of the year. So at least we have that going for us. Because I'm fairly certain we didn't win a game. I wasn't paying super duper close attention. But I'm pretty sure Yeah, I went 0-82. But here's the thing. I did also give all of these guys a 99 potential. So even though they all have a 25 on all of their offensive ratings, all their offensive attributes, there is a very good chance they could get better. Grizzlies Hawks finals, huh? That's I don't know anyone. Oh, because Jokic went to the Hawks. Yeah, that makes sense. If you add Nikola Jokic to the Hawks, they're going to be pretty good. And he's only an 88 overall somehow. That's weird. I don't understand that at all. But yeah, I'm going to be interested to see, what the player progression looks like for these guys. Will they learn how to shoot? And is that going to affect anything? Let's go to rookie signing. I don't want them to gain any other players to this roster. Everyone's got a 6-year contract. So they're sticking around for a while. We are going to decline Rex Duncan. Sorry, bud. You're probably going to be great, but we're focusing on what we got. All right, so let's see. Did any of them improve on offense? And they did. A lot of them improved by a lot. They're still really bad. But, you're seeing they're in the 30s now instead of the 20s for some of this stuff. Will that make a difference? Probably not. But we're gonna find out. We're gonna simulate. Maybe I really thought they would probably be able to win at least one game last season. But life is hard out in the NBA. I pressed the wrong button there. Life is hard. So they're still gonna be bad, I think, for a while. But they're putting up good defensive stats. I mean, holding teams to 73 points is really, really impressive. I mean, they almost won that game. They're only down by 16. So yeah, I think maybe now will be okay. How long do we go until they are, a championship level team? Because it's not going to take long with the 99 potential. I did this in 2K22, where I gave someone, 25 on everything, and then 99 potential, and they ended up being a Hall of Famer. So I know it won't take long for them to win. I wonder how long it's going to take, because the defense obviously is there. Okay, so they only lost by 7 points against the Grizzlies, who were in the finals last year. So they could maybe win a game this season. But yeah, I don't think it's going to take long for them, especially with their ability to play defense, to win some games. All right, so great news. They went 1-81. They won a game at the very end of the season against the Raptors. So that's really good. Paolo Banchero, he won Rookie of the Year last year and won Most Improved Player the next season, which I don't think would happen in real life. But, you know what? I'm actually curious how many of them are on the All-NBA first team, or All-Defensive first team. Yeah, that tracks. That super tracks that they would almost all be on the All-Defensive first team. Obviously, 1-81 is not good enough to make the playoffs. All right, player progression for the following season. Everyone is still an F on all of the offensive stuff, except we got one guy with a D- on three-point shooting. So, it's getting there. Things are happening. And it looks like they've definitely gotten some offensive badges, because they started with 25 badges, now they're up to 36. So they've definitely gotten some offensive badges going. And they won a game last year. So, 0 wins in year one win in year two. So I'm curious to see how many games they're going to win this season. All right, so the Nuggets finished with 3 wins this season. So they went from 0 to 1 to 3. Still winning Defensive Player of the Year awards. You know what I was thinking about while I was in the course of this year was I forgot to give them a defensive coach. I wonder how much of a difference it would make if their coach was actually suited for the play style of this team. So that might be the move here, they hired Chris Finch as a coach, and I turned him into a defense coach. I turned his offensive coaching all the way down to 0, and then I put his defense all the way up. Just to maximize what this team is built for. And because I am a jerk, and I don't want to see this team do anything I don't want them to do. I don't know. So, yeah. They're going to be defense, and only defense, and that is the only option they have. Let's see if anyone's gotten any better at anything, and we got 2 more deep minuses in 3-point shooting. So imagine like a player with a 97 overall, who is F on all the offensive stuff. That's just, that's interesting to me. Anyway, let's see if this gets them any more wins this season. All right, so they only won 3 games again this season. I really thought putting a defensive coach in there would help things out a little bit. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, they say defense wins championships, but you probably need a little bit more than just defense. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go 2 more seasons and see, if this team can do anything. Because like I said, usually when you give players 99 potential, they start to accelerate pretty quickly, even if they are really bad. But that hasn't been the case so far with this team. All right, so we're getting a few more D minuses happening. This guy's got D minuses across the board and a solid D. Yikes. And like a regular D for 3-pointers. So does this guy. Okay, so some of the guys are starting to get a little bit better now. So like I said, they got 2 more years in their contracts. So I'll run up the full 6 seasons to the end of their contracts and see if they can do anything. All right, so this season they went 13-69, which is nice, and a huge improvement over what they did the year before. 10 more wins over last year's season. So I don't know. It's getting interesting. That's for sure. Paolo Banchero's on the Bulls now, and they won a championship, and they have Nikola Jokic. All right, that's insane. So yeah, I'm gonna go 1 more season and see if that is gonna be enough for them to really make a big difference. I mean, going from 3 wins to 13 doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a huge percentage. It means they're getting good enough that they're actually doing stuff. So we'll see. So here are player progression now. A few more guys in the D- zone. No one breaking into the C realm at any point here. But it's getting there. This guy's got a 98 overall. These guys do. So stuff is happening. Let's see if that translates into any more wins. All right, so they went 13-69 again. I don't again. I had no idea what to expect going into this video. I thought that they would have a little bit more success than that. But yeah, just goes to show you can't just have only guys that can only play defense in 2K apparently. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this one. Kind of a shorter video here because not a whole lot really to dwell on, unfortunately. But I think this gives me an idea for the next one. So stay tuned for that. I'm not gonna. I'll just say I'm gonna do the opposite of what I did this time, and make a guy who can only score and not play any defense. So yeah, that's the plan for next time. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. If you liked it, press the like button. If you want to see what I end up doing in the future, the subscribe button will help you with that. And if you don't want to do either of those things, Get like a nice like 30-minute workout in. You know, put this video on in the background and like do some crunches or something like that. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.